right. Welcome back to the Bite the Abstract podcast. First three words I stutter. Episode 6.
Really?
Yeah, we're getting up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, look at us go.
Yeah.
We take a long time to make these episodes, but
Every 2 weeks. I'm just doing my best.
2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
There's like a month where we didn't. But it's okay. We're getting there. Working on it. We got a great topic for you today. Manifestation. We talked about it last time. We put a little pin in it, as we do.
Taking the pen out.
We're taking the pin out now. And now the thing above the pin now falls, and it comes out. Yeah. How you been feeling lately? What you been manifesting?
I manifest all the time.
Yeah.
I said it last episode, but I really have manifested this whole entire life that I live. I really truly believe that. I've been really working on my business, I would say. That's like the biggest thing that I've been manifesting as of lately.
Mm-hmm.
But literally every little aspect of my life I've definitely have manifested.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. I think more people maybe need to understand the concept of manifestation. I feel like everyone knows what it is.
I feel like a lot of
But-
people know of it and think it's just this hippie term.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, there's some truth to that. It is a little bit of a
Little
hippie
bit.
term, but it is and from a logical brain, coming from a logical brain person, there is logic behind what manifestation is. It's,
Yeah.
You target your subconscious mind to focus on things that you weren't focusing on before. And it, little by little, it tweaks every single decision you make, conscious or unconscious. Every single decision you make is tweaked by the thing that you decide you want to be true. And so, it has a logical explanation. I think a lot of people don't understand that part of it.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good thing for more people to understand. Do you remember the first time that you learned about manifestation or you learned what that was?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Would you like me to share?
Perfect.
Would you like me to
Yes.
share what? I learned about it reading Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth.
So recently.
Well, I mean, I guess that was like probably like 24 years ago, 2020. Yeah.
Okay. That's like
So I guess
to me that's
it's
really
recently in terms
Yeah.
of relative to some things, but
Yeah.
relative to yesterday, it's not recent.
Okay. So in his book, he talked about it, like what it was.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think there was like a whole chapter on it. I need to read that book again. I took like a huge message from it, and I still carry that message with me today, but I still don't remember a lot of the real details. But I know he talked about manifestation and what it means, and how it can actually be like the word. He more talked about like what the word manifest means, and like for something to manifest, and so he basically described like the power that the human brain has to manifest things. Like, because we have a thinking machine, we have the ability to like to start an idea, for something to exist out of our thinking, whereas like things manifest in nature because of natural causes. So like, I don't know, like a tree falls over and disrupts a ant hill, and it that is the death of that ant hill manifesting. Like, that's a weird example, but he totally didn't make any weird examples like that. But that's the idea. You get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My mom has always really been into manifestation my whole life. So I actually don't remember learning about it. It has just always been something that I've done my whole life. I didn't really believe in it though until I was probably like 16 or 17. About probably like I was a senior in high school. I might have been a junior in high school, but yeah, my whole life, like if I ever said like I was having a hard time with something or I couldn't do something, my mom would get like pissed at me, like you better change that around and not say that again in this house.
Yeah.
So I've always been really understanding of what that was. But for some reason, like I think it was because she was trying so hard to like ingrain it in us to like think positively. I was like, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
Just trying to do the opposite just because I was a little kid, you know. But yeah, when I was in high school, I was kind of telling you this the other day. I had this super hippie English teacher, and if anyone went to the high school that I went to, they know exactly who she was. And she made us watch this movie called The Secret. And if I really think everyone should watch this. It is so good.
Is that related to the book, The Secret?
Yes, same thing. Yeah, it's
which
just
my mom and grandma were both obsessed with.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like, it's not really like a movie. It's just more of like a documentary. About it. I've never read the book.
Kind of. Yeah, I think the book is more of a like life lesson book. It's not like a.
Yeah.
It's
same
not like
thing.
a novel. It's like it's teaching you how to like get the secret to life, basically.
Yeah, and that's exactly how they explain it in the documentary that I watched. But my English teacher made us watch this, and everyone in the class was kind of like, this is so ridiculous. Like, of course she's making us watch this because she was so hippie. Like, in the middle, I remember one time, this is unrelated, but she left I was second period, which was like 8, maybe 8:30 a.m. She leaves in the middle of class, and she never came back.
Like, had an emergency or something?
No, she just left and quit her job.
Permanently. She was like, yep, this is it. I'm done.
I remember she did come back, like, the last week, maybe, of school. Like, and I'm talking, like, this was before Christmas break.
Okay.
Girl just said, I am done.
She said, I'm out.
Yeah, she left at 9 a.m.
She said, this is what my life means. I'm getting out of here. And
then she came back, and we were all like, Miss Girl, what are you doing back? And she was like, sometimes you just need to take a little vacay. And we were like, okay.
I feel that.
Go off.
I'm almost there right now.
Yeah. Such a fun lady. Like, honestly, she deserves that. She really did. But we were all just like, oh my God. Anyways, but yeah, she made us watch this documentary, and I really enjoyed it. I feel like no one else really like took to it just because of our age, and we were just kind of like in a weird like age group of life, you know what I mean? It's just kind of tough being that age.
Yeah, like high school kids are so like, I know everything. Like you
Totally.
stupid old people, you don't know anything. And at that time, you see like a 22-year-old, and you're like, old ass.
Totally, for sure.
And so you're like, you guys are all dumb. Like I have it figured out, you know. And then you graduate and you don't have it figured out. Oops. Yeah.
Yeah, but that document, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in that class that actually took away from that. And ever since then, that really changed. It like really opened my eyes. Then I was like, oh, this is what my mom's been trying to like instill in me this whole time. It just really changed my life. There was, speaking of nature, there was like this specific scene where they had 2 different kinds of plants, and one was in like one room, one was in the other room, and there was the same like 8 people would go up to each of the plants. There was one that was the hateful plant and one that was like a peaceful plant, and you would go up and say hateful things to the one and really peaceful and lovey things to the other one.
Wait, this is an experiment you did? Sorry, I was
in the Secret.
In the Secret
documentary.
Okay, gotcha.
They did this. Okay. And the one that was like being told like, I hate you, you're worthless, you don't mean anything, it died. The plant just fully died.
Yeah.
And they were doing nothing different to it other than just saying hateful things to it.
Yeah, it's the energy. Yeah.
Crazy. I think that's so interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting. That opens a whole perspective to, you know, what life is, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Like what you give off. This is like a total, that is a total callback to our last episode, how we were talking about like people awakening. It's the same concept. If you're emitting this good energy, like people feel it and they like liven up.
Totally.
Just like the plant livened up. How cool is that?
I know. Yeah, it's very interesting. And I always, I read, it was a long time ago, so it was probably on Facebook, but women specifically talk so down on ourselves, like, oh, I'm so fat, I look so ugly today, like blah, blah, blah. But it was extremely emotional to watch this video of two best friends wrote a letter to themselves about all the things that they hated about their own body. So I would write a letter about what I hated, and then I would swap it with my best friend, and then the best friend had to read it out loud. And so you read all the things that your best friend hated about themselves, and that really changed my perspective on things too. Like, I now try my best to talk to my body as if I was talking to like my best friend or someone else, because you shouldn't be like talking about yourself like that. I feel like that's bad energy too for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. This is totally relating to something that just happened earlier today. I don't know, probably on the internet or something. I was definitely on the internet. I saw a video, and it was talking about like Stoic principles, and I'm very interested in all that stuff. I'm not by no means a Stoic. I want to be, but like, I don't know. Seems unrealistic to me. But anyways, so it was talking about like negative self-talk and what that does to you, and like literally exactly what you're talking about. And it's kind of saying like the Stoics don't believe in don't believe in negative self-talk at all. Like, think it should not exist ever.
Yeah.
And that when you have this negative self-talk, you listen to it, you're like instilling your identity that and believing these things, and then because you believe them, they become true, and they become true to you at least. So like you're like really believing them. And kind of forget how that relates to this other phrase that I heard, but I'm pretty sure it was the same video, but I forget how it connected. But it was saying like, I think it was relating to like when you're saying like I can't do something or I don't want to do something. The Stoic principle is like, if you can endure it, endure it.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the whole thing. So if you're sitting there and you hear yourself saying you can't, it's like, can I endure it? I can. Well, I'm gonna do it. A little different than what we're talking about, but
yeah, I feel like that goes along with like going to the gym. I've been hearing a lot lately, like, show up for yourself, even if you don't like today, for example. Like on Wednesdays I do like heavy leg days normally, but I could not do that today. I could not show up for myself in that way, so instead I just went and did like 12 3:30. So that way I still went to the gym and I still showed up for myself. I've also heard too where you can like, this is a really interesting concept, but like break promises to yourself. Yeah. So if you always skip the gym, if you like never go to the gym, or you never do something like make your bed every morning, and you don't make a habit out of it, your brain knows that you're just, if you, okay, tomorrow I'm going to make my bed. Your brain knows that you're going to break that promise to yourself. And so it'll just let you.
So it's almost like you have to apply that everywhere. Like you don't ever make a promise that you're not going to keep.
Yeah.
And so you got to show up for yourself in that way.
Yeah. I learned that probably like a year or so ago, and that really changed my mind on a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, that's cool. That's yeah. I have this thing, talking about the gym. I have this thing that I do at the gym. We do cardio at the end of every gym session, and like for a while I was like doing, because I have a leg injury and so I was not able to run, which is what I usually do. And so I was doing other things like bike and sometimes stairs, and then sometimes like just walking on the treadmill. And I hate the stairs so much. They suck ass. Like they literally make me want to die while I'm on it, but then after I feel great. And so if I'm at the gym and I think about the stairs, and then I have this thing in my head like, ooh, that sounds terrible, I'm like, well, fuck, now I have to do it.
Yeah.
And so like I have this thing with myself where I'm like, if I think about it and it sounds hard, but it's possible, like I'm just going to do it. And so that has helped me. That single instance has helped me a lot, just day-to-day life, because I'm like, I thought about it and it's possible, I'm doing it, So
yeah, I think
to,
that's
like,
really good.
Callous your brain, make it a little harder,
For sure. This is just a random memory that I had. So growing up, I was a dancer growing up, and a lot of, if not all, really, of my peers were really religious. And I'm not going to say what religion, but a very controlling one. I know that you're like, oh, all of them are controlling, but like a very controlling one to the point where you can't do a lot of things that
Understood.
most people do, right? So, a friend of mine who's very like-minded like us, we were talking about this same kind of topic at dance when we had a little bit of a break, and one of the girls that was raised a little bit more strictly was like, manifestation is not real. Like, you just gotta turn your life over to God and he'll help you. And like, not to offend anyone, because I am super supportive. If however you want to live your life, you live your life, because I think we can all agree that there's something out there, right? Like, I don't believe in religion or God or anything like that, but I do believe that there's something out there. Like, the universe is out here to help me. You know what I'm saying?
I think, I agree with you. I don't know if I would even call it a creator, but there is there's one. Like,
there's a higher being.
Well, there's just like, to me, there's just one being, but that's a whole thing. But what I want to say about that is, I think religion and like what we're talking about, and Buddhism and everything that you can think of that tries to get you to this peaceful state is pointing at the same thing. Like, I think we all just have different beliefs of what the thing is, but it's all pointing in the same direction. And I say, as long as it gets you there, and all of us get there, then we're good.
Yeah.
What I don't like about religion is when only people that believe the way they do can get there. It's like, if I'm moral and a good person and following God in your eyes, despite not believing it, like, if that allows me to go to the same place that you see, then that should be fair, right? Then that's where the problem arises. But
yeah, I definitely think so too. So me and my friend, we're having this conversation, or another friend kind of butts in like, oh, manifestation is not real. And we were like, babe, like, let's be for real. Like, even regardless of what you believe in anywhere, I think that everyone can come to an agreement of, if you just put your mind to something, you're going to be able to accomplish that kind of a thing. And I feel like that's where manifestation comes in. That's a really good way to explain manifestation to anybody. Like, even though you can like turn your life to God, but then there you are doing the same thing. You're manifesting and praying to God.
Yeah, it's the same exact thing.
It's
the same
thing.
That's what I was trying to, like, why I brought that up, because it's like, we really are pointing at the same exact thing.
Yes.
It's like everybody is trying to achieve the same thing. And we don't have to agree on what the thing is. We just got to go there. Right.
Yeah, we were trying to explain this to her also, and she was just like not understanding it. It's like, girly pop, we are trying to do the same thing right now.
A lot of, like, especially young people, and I've heard of a ton of people, especially on my dad's side of my family, people that are following God that actually get it, in my eyes at least, despite being like heavily Christian. And then I see others, which is usually younger people, or just like delusional older people that truly don't get it. Like, they've like believed so hard that they turn around and walked into their own butt,
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't really remember when this happened. Corey always makes fun of me. He always calls it witch stuff whenever I'm like manifesting, but and this might be some witchy out there stuff, like hippie woo woo stuff that I do. But I can prove that this works. So I mentioned I own a dance studio, and I took it over in March of 2020, and it was like March 1st of 2020 before we really knew like what was actually going on with the pandemic kind of situation, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So obviously we were put through like the literal depths of hell trying to keep my business alive at this point. And this year, so 2020 was horrible, and then 21, 22, really bad. Like, I was crying every month. Like, I can't do this. I'm not meant to do this. And Corey's like, suck it up. You're doing fine. And I was like, no, this feels too hard. Like, I'm fighting with myself and the universe too hard. Like, clearly this is a sign I should not be doing this, right? And so then this year started. Technically it's 2023 August is when our semester starts, like when school starts. And all of a sudden, all summer long, whenever it was a full moon, I would write a letter to myself like, I'm so thankful for my dance studio. I'm so thankful for having the exact amount of kids that I need to pay our rent, because we were hardly making our rent payments. It was like ridiculous. So I'm just writing all these things in the current day, not like, you know. So I wrote that out every single month for like a year and a half, and I would put it out under the moon, which might be a little dramatic, but it works for
That's
me.
where some controversy might come in.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. But that's just what I did to do it, and that's fine. But as soon as the semester started in 2023 in August, I had probably 10 extra kids. So 10 more kids than I even needed to make rent. So immediately, like right out of the gate, like everything was super easy. And I was like, oh my gosh, everything's going really good. Stop. Why is everything going so good right now? And so I just continued doing that same thing up until like really recently. And I just, every single month, I kept adding 10 more kids. So all the way from September all the way through, I would say January, I was just adding 10 more kids. And that'd be like, oh my gosh, Corey, like I just lost like 3 kids this month. Like I think that I'm going to pass out. Like this is so bad. And you're like, calm down. Everything's going to be all right. And then sure enough, by the end of that month, I would have 5 or 6 new kids.
Yeah. And it's not like you just wrote that shit down and then just sat around and waited for a miracle. Like you wrote it as if it were true, and you believed it so hard that you just, every action you took in your day-to-day basis was pointing at that. And so that's why you went there.
Yeah.
It works.
I really, truly manifested my entire business out of the literal shithole that it was dragged into because of the pandemic. And I'm just like, it's insane to me that first of all worked because it was so deep in there. Like we were like to our landlord, like, sorry, like we got to break our lease. Like we can't even pay our lease payment. So we were like freaking out that we were just going to get kicked out at like literally any given moment because we didn't have a lease, and our landlord has done something like that to us before. So we were like, why would it not happen again? But yeah, sure enough, right after that,
look at you now.
got it figured out.
Heck yeah. And then you keep shooting too. It's not like, you don't just like get to the end and you're like, I finished, I'm all done.
Oh yeah, we're starting right back over.
I've got it figured over. You're like, how we scale this more?
That's
how do
right.
we keep going? And this whole thing can apply to literally any part of your life.
I think so too, especially like I feel like this is very important for people's careers. Obviously, this is like what I want to make my career.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have a whole podcast episode on just the dang dance studio, but
No.
short story long.
Short story long.
Yeah, I feel like that's really important for people's careers too. My actual like job, quote unquote, like career, like I'm not really motivated to do it, so I don't really care to manifest it just because I'm really comfortable with it.
You manifest leaving
So
it.
I don't mind. Yeah, I kind of am. But that's
and
okay.
that's okay.
I think that's okay too.
You know what you want.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has an end career goal. And so as long as you set your mind to where you think it should be, and I mean, it's the same exact thing for you. You want to start your own business, but you just have to have kind of maybe a sucky job in the meantime to get you there, one that just pays the bills. And I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah.
But as long as you keep manifesting forward and know what you want to do, I feel like it's easy to get there.
One thing I'm learning, or I'm discovering, like just present day, is to make this kind of thing work, to reach your goals, to manifest and really believe that you're going to get to somewhere you really want to go. You have to have a really strong foundation of like personal development, I guess. You have to have a really strong foundation, which I think I had a foundation and I made some cracks in it, and like I just need to repair the cracks, and I need to get back on track. And that's something I've realized recently, where it's like it's so freaking hard to get there. Now it's going to be hard anyway, but it's even harder if you have all this friction from a bad foundation, like, for example, I'll just get personal. I have issues sleeping because it's all me though. It's not like, yeah, I have sleep apnea, but that's a different thing. Like I'm sleepy all the time because I don't go to sleep at a responsible time. And I know it's something I need to fix, but like when I'm sleepy all the time, that that itself makes it so much harder to work towards my freaking goals.
It
And
is.
so like I'm realizing now it's like, okay, well, if I want to get towards the goal, I need to start at the lowest level of positive like movement, you know?
Yeah. I think that's really important too, because that could go for everything, right? Like if you want to get back into the gym, or if you want to start cleaning your house, anything, I feel like that's really important. You can just
Yeah. It's like
manifest it.
like I was out at the gym for a while right before I graduated college, and the way I got back into it is I started with, I think I was only going 1 day a week or like 2.
Yeah, that's good.
1 or 2, because I just needed to go there and like, build the foundation. And like once I got in that habit, like do that for like a month or so, and then it's like okay, let's up it a little bit, because I want to reach the goals a little more, and then you push it and push it. But I think it like you really got to go so low for your foundation. Like you got to really, if you want to get towards your long-term goals, like I don't think people talk about this either a lot. Like some people do, but it's like you really got to build that personal development. You got to make your bed. You got to put food in your body that your body appreciates. You got to sleep well. You need to not procrastinate. You need to do the things you say you're going to do. Call back to earlier. I think that's part of the reason why that last year and a half you're talking about went so well for you, is because your foundation is magnificent. You are so habitual. You sleep on time. You wake up on time. You never ever veer off of it. You eat the same food and good food always. Like you never veer off of it. Like your foundation is so strong that anything you put on top of it is just going to stand up.
Yeah, it's kind of like a side rant with that. When I got I was still like in high school, like kind of like graduating ish era of my life. I graduated when I was 17, just because I was young for when I started school. Thank you to my parents for that.
Yeah.
I started working out very lightly, just like you mentioned, but then I started getting into it really heavily, and then oh no, bless you.
Probably cut that out. I imagine it'll explode. Anyway.
So yeah, when I was like 17, like just getting out of high school, I started working out very lightly. My mom and I started working out at this gym, and then we slowly started to get a little bit more into it. And just for perspective, I was at my dance studio. I was a company dancer, so I was going to school in high school, almost full time. I think I just had like my last period off. And then I did this thing called dual credit. So I was going to college part-time on top of high school. I was dancing 25 hours a week, and I had a part-time job. And I had a boyfriend. I had all these friends. I was doing the damn thing, and I was working out. And so it very quickly came apparent to me that habitual behavior, like if you don't have that in place, you're not going to get anything in your life done. I think then was like the most productive time of my life. I like really valued being at home and being able to like meal prep and do my laundry, because when are you literally going to be able to do it otherwise?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, it was my poor parents putting up with this too. I remember even like a little ways after that, when I was like 19-ish, I started working at a gym. So I would go to work at 4 a.m. and then I would go to my now job that I work at around like 9. And then I worked there until 3, and then I had dance. And then sometimes I would even go to like a different job. I had a concessions job after that. My poor parents were probably just like, oh my gosh, this girl. I would leave at 4 a.m. and sometimes I wouldn't even get home till like 10 p.m. It was ridiculous. But yeah, as long as you have those habits and routines in your life, you can accomplish anything that you need to.
Yeah. And you can make those habits if you don't have them. Hi, Mabel.
Yeah.
And like I'm working on new habits here. Like I think I told you this, but 3 weeks in a row I've meal prepped on Sunday and grocery shopped, meal prepped, and prepared for the week.
It feels so good, doesn't it?
It feels great, yeah. And so it's like, I'm just starting really small, because that's not hard to do. Like from where I'm at, that is not a hard thing to achieve. And so just building that, and it's like once you're done with it, you can even tell yourself, like once you see it, you can even tell yourself, like, wow, I did that. It's like I'm actually able to do the things I said I'm gonna do. Call back again.
Yeah, it's so good. So good for you too.
Yeah.
There's this girl. She's an influencer that I follow, and she also has a podcast. Her name is Shelby Sacco. I can't remember her podcast. I'm trying to get you to listen to it for quite a while.
Yeah.
I really enjoy consuming her content. She she's like a habit teacher. I would say.
I've watched a couple of her things.
It's so
You
good.
told me about her.
She is so she just has such good content. But the main thing that I took away from her content early on was once a month, pick one habit to do throughout the month. Because then if you do it every day, then you're 30% better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So even if you don't make your bed, pick making your bed. Do that for 30 days of the month, then you're 30% better. Mm-hmm. Then at the end of the month, it's already a habit. So just keep it going.
Yep.
Then maybe you can pick meal prepping for the next month. I don't meal prep every single thing that I eat, but I just do breakfast and lunch. Because if I don't, then I just straight up won't eat.
Yeah.
Just because I'm irritated. I have nothing to eat, so I just won't. So it's so much easier. But yeah, being 30% better by the end of the month. Mm-hmm. An easy one too is reading a book. Yeah. Just even one chapter or 5 or 10 pages. That's such a good thing for you, especially before bed.
Yep. I think the single-handed best habit you can possibly build to start your foundation if you have no good habits is make your bed.
Yeah.
Because it takes less than 2 minutes. It's the easiest thing. And what it does is when you wake up, the very first thing you have to do when you get out of bed is something that requires discipline.
Yep.
And so it's it sets the direction for your whole day, because you want to go grab your phone and play on your phone in bed, or you want to just get up and get right in the shower, or whatever you do. But you have to decide right there to make your bed and do it. And it's the best habit you could ever start, because it's so easy.
Yeah, I think so too. Another really easy thing would be, I guess you could kind of make it fun and get popsicle sticks and put them in a cup, but just write down, you can even just pick one a week, deep clean your bathroom, or deep clean one cabinet in your kitchen, so that you just get that one thing accomplished, and then it's organized. Yeah. Obviously, drawers never stay clean. That's the hardest thing, I'm sure, for any human. It's so hard to keep them clean. Yeah. Unless you have little organizers, but who has time for that too, honestly.
You seen your bathroom?
Okay, my bathroom is very organized. We don't share bathrooms. I have my own bathroom.
Yeah.
And I also don't even make the bed, because Corey gets up 9 hours after I get up.
Yeah.
He gets up after I'm getting off my first job, going to my second job.
Okay, that's a real exaggeration. But
I am at least
you're
2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, you're
into my
2 hours
day
in your
by
day.
the time you wake up.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I technically don't get to make the bed, but to be so honest, I have never been a bed maker.
That was the best thing I ever made myself do, was making my bed. I started it when I was living at the apartment with my buddies. That was probably 2019. Maybe 2020. It was probably after 2020, because that was a turning point for me, everyone. Even. Yeah. As soon as I started, I just it led to so many good things. One of the things was I would walk in my room and see my made bed, and it would feel so much cleaner. It would encourage me to clean the other things in my room, and it would just look so nice. So I was just so happy to see a made bed.
Yeah.
And when you walk into a room and your bed's not made, it looks so not okay.
It does help. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like getting into someone's car and you have to kick trash.
Oh yeah.
Out of the foot.
That's me.
And me.
Yeah. I'm worse.
I've been okay with my car recently.
That was our special guest, Mez. She doesn't come on very much.
I know. Mez and maybe just made an appearance. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Our sweet girl, Mez, just to document this, which is why we kind of started our podcast. We just had to take Mez to the doctor for the first time. Here she is.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, Mez.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had to take her to the doctor for the first time. She's we got her in August. We've only, I don't know what the math is for that, like 7 months almost.
Just about.
And she was 7 years old when we got her. I think she's almost 8. So she's not like a little spring chicken kind of a girl, but she's just has been acting a little abnormally. And then on Sunday night she started throwing up a lot, and then on Monday she threw up more. So we had to take her to the doctor for the first time.
She got some medicine.
Poor girl.
She was really scared.
Oh my gosh.
It was sad.
It was
She was really scared.
heartbreaking. It really was terrible.
God, you know that like that scared cat meow. Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah,
Ugh.
especially with Mez, because we think that she obviously was abandoned. Like, she's not feral. Like, she had a family before us, and so we don't know what happened to her. But yeah, it was very sad. We were like, oh, I hope that she doesn't think that we're like taking her out and then gonna leave her. Like, it was just it was so heartbreaking. But then we came home, and then she was like, oh, we're home.
She hid for like maybe an hour, and then it's like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Good to go.
She was a very good girl.
Yeah.
But she's all better now.
Yeah, she got some medicine.
She has some kitty medicine that we got to give her.
Yeah, she okay. Hi, baby.
But
yeah,
she's fine. Look at this face.
Freaking love cats. Everyone should get a cat. It'll change your life. Dogs.
No, everyone
dogs too.
should have Liz in their life, because our boy Corey over here didn't really like cats when I met him.
No, that's not true.
And then I changed your mind.
No, that's not true. I never didn't like cats. I've always liked them, but I didn't realize how magical they were.
You didn't want to own one.
I wanted a dog, which I think a lot of people want dogs. I still would have a dog, but I just like cats a lot more now. Yeah. Cats and dogs are two different lifestyles. That's why. Cats are like the chill people, introverted, like to sit around a lot. Dogs are the more outgoing people.
Like to sit around a lot. Look at us right now.
Sitting around. And look, Mez is right here. Perfect animal. Although some dogs do that too. I love dogs too, don't get me wrong. But
no, cats are just for our lifestyle.
Cats
are just great. Yeah.
Yeah, you really did turn me on to cats. It's an
important thing to be turned on to, I must say.
Yeah. They completely change your life. They're so freaking magnificent. They're so loving and just...
Look at Corey. He's staring deeply into Mez's
eyes
as he says
I'm watching her close her eyes. It's so cute.
She's slow blinking. That means she's saying, I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, she's so happy to just be sitting here.
Thank you for taking me to the doctor. I feel so much better.
Exactly. She's happy. She's got food. Mabel's like a fucking bitch. Doesn't want to do any... doesn't want to come near. Opposite cat from this one, but...
Yeah, Mez is our sweet, cuddly, always wants to be standing at your throat because she loves you so much. Mm-hmm. And Mabel is so playful, it's painful, and it will hurt you.
It will literally hurt you.
I am in Spain without the S.
Yeah, don't let her seduce you with her like rubbing on your leg, acting like she wants pets, because she will bite you.
Yeah. Yeah, she does do that. She's really pretty, though.
She's very cute. She loves me, too. She just, like...
And that's it.
She's like, I'm her best friend for sure, and I am mean to her sometimes, so...
This is the list of people Mabel likes. Corey.
End.
That's the end of the list.
Yeah. Speaking of the end of the list, didn't you have a list? Have you looked at it yet?
I did, yeah. We talked about all 3 things that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, very good. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I had anything in particular I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, just manifestation is important.
Yeah.
Get on that boat if you're not on it.
Yeah.
However you think is going to be best for you to manifest, whether it's speaking directly to whoever you believe in, or even your partner telling them, I know that I can do this, I'm going to start doing this. Mm-hmm. Then you do the damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. So, I guess, we could wrap it up there, I guess. We freaking laid down some good stuff.
Yeah. That's right.
We're biased, though.
That's how it goes in Cornless's house.
Yeah. In the kitty house. Okay, well, This has been the Bite the Abstract podcast, and we'll sign off now. Bye.